everyone, and thank you for joining me again. This is a driving test that took place in Oswestry just a few weeks ago. Have a look at it. It'll give you some idea and some indication of where you might go if you're taking your driving test very shortly in Oswestry. We're just going to be leaving now the Oswestry driving test car park. You've got to be careful just here because it is right next to a waste paper site, so you've just got to be careful of it. There's heavy lorries going about all the time, so it's on an industrial estate. Oh, there's one going past now. So as we leave the test centre, just make sure you're checking both ways, and out we go. The driving test lasts between 38 to 40 minutes, taking into consideration different road and traffic conditions. You'll be driving along country roads, main roads, and in the town as well. So as you drive around here now, you'll be able to see exactly where you may go on a driving test. So we're coming up to the end of the road, so just always remember, mirrors first, your signal, and then the manoeuvre. Got nicely up here right to the end of the road, looking both ways, good control, steering out, and away we go. That's a nice clean turnout that is there. Remember to check your mirrors as you exit the road that you've just joined. So just going up through the gears there now, just making normal progress, and away you go. We're coming up now to a junction in a moment, which is on a slight hill, but you'll see how the pupil actually dealt with it. This is one of the benefits of getting good control over the clutch and being able to make sure that you are under control with it. So we're just going through, we're just making our way out, we're in the first few minutes. They'll ask you to do one manoeuvre on the driving test. They'll ask you one safety question at the beginning of the test, and they'll ask you one, show me as you're driving along. So you'll see the one that they'll ask later on in the video anyway, which I'll explain what's happening anyway. So there we are, we're coming to the end of the road and we're going to turn left. So nicely to the end of the road there, and as you can, I don't know if you can just notice how we are just creeping forwards very, very slowly. Now, this is due to the control over the clutch, and I've been harping on about this quite a lot. Is about getting under control, and you can see there how they were able to just go to the end of the road, get control over the clutch, making sure they're looking both ways, and then easing the car out. No stalling, jumping, jerking and all of that nonsense. Even here, for example, we've rolled up to the very end, and what he's done now is just simply rolling. If you just see, he's just inching forwards very gently, because what they're doing is they're anticipating that the traffic is going to start to move away, and indeed it has. And you can see how that they're managing to make the car move away pretty much instantly. So there's no need to be able to, pull the handbrake on. We're under control. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that the handbrake shouldn't be applied. What I'm just simply saying is that if you're having to wait for any length of time, then the handbrake should be applied. But there, it wasn't really necessary. The candidate there, what they did was anticipated the fact that the traffic might just start to pull away. So they went straight to first gear, held the point of control on the clutch just for a moment or two. Not for any length of time to cause any damage, because people are always worried about burning out the clutch. It's a load of nonsense, that is. You would smell it anyway if it was causing any damage, and you're simply just balancing to a standstill. You'll find as you go through this video now, and you come across situations which we've got now, whereby the roads are sometimes a bit on the tight side. So you've got the traffic that's already committed to coming through, So again, you can see how the candidate there, what they've done is that they've just held it on the clutch momentarily and then just pulled away again with absolutely no trouble whatsoever. They've certainly, pulled onto that one quite easily. So again, we're coming up to situations, nicely positioned. Always remember at this point the importance of mirrors, keeping your eye on the mirrors. We're not getting too close to the vehicle in front, enables us to pull away. The candidate, what they've done there, they've spotted that the car's turn in left into the co-op that's on the right hand side there. So they spotted that, which meant that we're able to go. So we're passing all these stationary cars. We're keeping a nice distance away from them. What you've always got to be aware of with stationary vehicles is a car door that might be opening. Oswestry is some of the roads that you go down, some of the times are quite tight, and you've got lots of situations whereby you might meet something coming the other way. Nicely to the end there. This here, it's an advanced stop line. You've got this the cycle box straight in front, as you can see there now. So the candidate is not over the white line there at the back of it, which is the correct place to be. When you're waiting, like for example, now we're going to be waiting. So what would happen now is the candidate would now apply the handbrake. So the handbrake is now on because we are waiting. We'll probably be going straight ahead here. One thing to always be aware of when you're waiting at the traffic lights here is cyclists, I'm afraid, that can come up the side of you. So it's always good practice when you can. Try and keep your eye on that left-hand door mirror. Because they could occur at any time at all. So there could be one by the side of you. You wouldn't know about it unless you check, that is. Bit tight just here, as you can see, but we're through. Nothing really wrong there at all. Nice control. Alright, so we're turning right. So always remember, mirrors first, your signalling manoeuvre. Nice position there to the centre of the road. You just need to be just to the left of the white centre line. And then before you make your right turn, make sure that you do check that right hand door mirror. If you look in some of my other videos, you'll see where there's one where we're turning right and there's someone overtaking us. And we're indicating. And we're indicating to turn right and someone's about to just to overtake us. Again, passing all these stationary cars. The road it's quite wide, so you can fit another car up as well. So that's okay. Turning off left again, anticipating what might be coming towards you. The answer is, well, we've had a look, nothing there, so continue through again. One of the big skills is always trying to anticipate what might be coming the other way. You can never tell, because the roads nowadays are so congested, it's unbelievable. I mean, when I took my driving test, and that was back in the early 70s, there was hardly any, well, I say hardly any, there were a few cars on the road, but not as many as what there are today. I mean, they're parked everywhere today, so you've got to be aware of it. Okay, so here, this is the first of the examiner would say, would you like to pull up and stop on the left-hand side, somewhere safe, convenient. So we've pulled up and we've stopped, and we're not on a driveway. We're not on a driveway at all. We're in between the two there. That's all right. Now, the important thing here is always remember the importance of mirrors and then checking over your right shoulder before you move away. It's most important, I'm afraid. It really is. So again, coming up to the stationary vehicles, the importance of mirror checks, because you're going to start to move out now. You've always got to be mindful of what's coming the other way. Again, in some of my other videos, you'll see examples of whereby the ability to be able to control the clutch and the steering to get into the tightest gaps. So we're having a good run through here. There's nothing coming the other way, so we're not having to do with anything. We're not having to deal with anything. That's okay. But you've always got to remember is that luck or is that skill? And that's the one thing that you always got to remember. Well, I just like to hope to think that I've taught people enough whereby if anything does happen, that they can slow the car down and then that they can deal with it in a professional manner. There's nothing parked here now. We're starting to go out onto one of the estates. I'm going to pull up and stop on the left-hand side. It's a bit of a hill, this one is, so this is your hill start. So again, pulling up and stop on the left-hand side, and then whenever you're ready, move away when it's safe to do so. Okay, so remembering, of course, you have a look at this. The car's not going to roll back. The car's under perfect control. Look at that. There's no loss of control whatsoever. So you've got the gas, you've got the point of contact on the clutch, the handbrake's down. Mirror checks, that's the important thing. Looking over your right shoulder to check your blind spot is of paramount importance. Nice position there with turning. Yep, that's good. Looking both ways and out we go. Mirrors again before you pass the van. And then, of course, repositioning the car back on your side. Again, looking both ways, making sure that you're clear, looking nicely. That's great. And then out you go. When you come up to a give-way, the idea is you're having a look to see if you've got to stop. You're not stopping to have a look. Again, this is all about control over the clutch and control over the steering, so that as you come up to the end of the road, you've positioned the car nicely right up to the white line, so you've got good visibility both ways, and you're rolling forwards very, very slowly so that you can have a look. And then if you're clear, continue on your way. There's the sign, crossroads ahead. So you've got to be aware of what might be coming out at those crossroads, because you can never tell who's going to pull out right in front of you. I mean, that's the thing with it. Anticipate what you may find round the corner. Now this one here, as you've turned in, it's you've turned left, but then you come to a give-way line that's right in front of you. The candidate here, they've dealt with that perfectly, because what they did was that as they turned left there, they were looking ahead. They saw the stationary vehicles on the right-hand side. They saw the vehicle coming towards them. They stopped, allowed them out, and then continued on your way again. But did you notice how they were able to stop and then move straight off again? The same thing's going to happen here. We're going to stop. Now we're going to move straight off again. Like that. And that's a skill. So moving away, and off we go. We're still in a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. Always anticipating what you may find round the next corner. You can never tell. Never take anything for granted. That's the thing to remember. Don't just think, oh well, it'll be all right. You can never tell. Okay, so there's the national speed limit signs, and now we're into a national speed limit. Now the speed limit is a national speed limit which is 60. Now it doesn't mean do 60. What it means is use your own common sense. Where, like here for example, now it's a nice straight, so you can get your speed up quite nicely there. But pay attention to the fact that you've got hazards in front of you, and pay attention to the warning signs where you've got crossroads or hidden junctions, hidden entrances. You've got these driveways. You've got slippery road. You've got all sorts of different things going on. So there's plenty of hazards that are there, and it's just trying to anticipate. We're making nice progress here. We're not hanging around by any stretch of the imagination. We're simply getting on with it, which is all you've got to do really. But at the same time, being aware of what you may find around the next corner. And you see the road markings there. It's got slow written on the road. That's for a very good reason. There could be something there, like, say, for example, that you can see here. There's a driveway. There's houses there. There's cars parked up. So there is a bit of a hazard there. So all you've got to do is just come off the accelerator. Just try to anticipate what you may find around the next corner. You can never tell. Again, same thing. You got slow written on the road. Off the accelerator. And you've got those rumble strips as well that are there. That's just alerting you to it. Okay, so we're turning. Are we turning right? Yes, we are. So mirrors, signal, and of course that all important. Check that right-hand door mirror before you make your right turn. I don't think that no one will overtake you, because you'll be in for a nasty shock one day. Make sure you are checking that right-hand door mirror before you make your right turn. It's most important. So again, we're still in a national speed limit. We're just making good progress. We're not doing 60 miles an hour by any stretch of the imagination. We're not. What we're probably doing is between about 40, maybe 45 at the most. Because we can just be able to stop if anything should be there, if we need to stop in a hurry. And there you go. You got a nice straight road there. Again, you can see these pull-ins on the side, and people could be emerging out of them. You can never tell. Another warning sign, crossroads. So again, being aware of what might be happening, because people might be coming out of them. You can never tell. And there's the crossroads just there. We're approaching it now. So where are we going here? All right, yeah, we're turning right here in this one, are we? Yes, we are. Again, the mirrors, the signal, then the manoeuvre. Notice when they're turning right, the candidate, they're positioned perfectly. And when they're turning right, they're not cutting the corner off. They're actually, when they're turning, they end up on their side of the road. It's good. Brilliant. Best way to do it. Notice on this road as well, there's no centre road white markings. The road's a little bit narrower here, so your speed needs to be a little bit further down. Even though you're still on a national speed limit, you've got to be aware of the fact that it's not a target. You don't have to do to the maximum. You've got to drive at a speed that is appropriate to the road and traffic conditions. And you'll get plenty of this on your driving tests, this type of road like this, where you're driving through country roads. It's been able to deal with situations that crop up as and when they might do. You can never tell what might be there. You never know. A stationary vehicle there. It could move off. As it happens, it isn't. Another sign. Oh, crossroads again. So being aware of the fact that there could be people that are waiting to emerge or come out, anything could pull out. You can never tell. See how it's just a little bit narrower. Nothing much, but it's just a little bit narrower. And the candidate there's kept the cool there quite nicely. They're over to the left-hand side. Car's positioned correctly. There's nothing wrong. Notice how you've got this water on the side of the road here as well. Always take into account that on a wet surface, it'll take you a little bit longer to stop. As you come up to these bends, always remember, you anticipate what might be around it. Just slow it down, just off the accelerator. You might even need to touch the foot brake just to reduce the speed by maybe a couple of miles an hour. You can never tell. Well, we've not met anything interesting there on this particular test anyway. There's nothing there, as you can see. This is an actual driving test. This is not anything that's staged. This is a candidate that is actually on their driving test, and it's in Oswestry. So we're coming to the end of the road. So always remember that the sat-nav or the examiner will tell you in good time when to turn and which way that you're going. So again, nicely up to the end of the road, having a look, just creeping forwards very gently, having a look. If you're clear, out you go, and then check your rear view mirror again so that you know what's happening at the back of you, and away you go again. So the road now has gone a lot wider. Now, of course, you can see you've got the white lines in front of you. It's worth pointing out that these lines that you see now, see how they're long? What that means is hazard. So the longer the line, the greater the hazard. If it's just short lines, then the hazard is reduced. Again, you've got slow written on the road, and there's a good reason for that as well. And I got a roundabout ahead of us. Okay, so we're in the left-hand lane, so probably going straight ahead, making sure you're clear to the left. Okay, can you see how the car's just creeping forwards gently, just nice and easy? It's not stopped dead, it's ready to go. Got the opportunity and go. Lovely position on that roundabout there. Kept right into the left-hand side. Is all you've got to remember is don't forget to indicate left on the one before you want. And then check your mirrors again. And away we go. Still in a national speed limit. You can see now the road's a lot wider. The traffic's moving a lot quicker. So you've just got to keep up with the flow of traffic. Keeping a nice distance in front as well. Not getting right stuck up behind the car in front. Keeping well back. The speed's up, but we're not breathing down the neck of the vehicle in front. And that's a good thing to remember. Don't get right up behind the car that's in front of you. Hold back. Keep it back. And you can see everything that's going on. On this video, you can't really see all that well because of the resolution. But in real time, if you keep back, you'll see right in front. And that's where you've got to be looking so that you can be prepared for what might be happening. Oh, another roundabout coming up. So again, mirrors before you slow down. Bringing the speed down progressively. Again, not right up behind the vehicle in front, which is good. Again, keep it into the left-hand lane. Probably going straight ahead. Again, the road's clear, and there they are. A good position. They didn't hesitate there at all. They saw the opportunity, and away you go. Great. This is the A5 that they're travelling on now, and this is quite a busy road actually. As you can see, the traffic coming the other way, it's just virtually non-stop. The traffic is coming at you all the time. It's one of the most busiest roads in the country actually. Again, can you see how the candidate is nowhere near the car in front? They're holding back. They're not breathing down its neck. That's good driving ability, that is. There's nothing wrong with this. Nothing. we're coming up to the double roundabout now. This is the one that causes a lot of people probably a lot of stress, actually, is this one. Let's have a look and see where we're going here. So we're using, let's have a look, where are we going? Right, so we're using the extreme right, so that is towards Oswestry, that is there. The B4579. So this is the first roundabout they're coming up to. Again, making sure that the road's clear, having a look, and stay in lane. There they are. There you go. We're staying in lane 4579. That's where you're going. Keep round the mirrors. They are B4579. Perfect. Nothing wrong with this. Again, checking over to the right, making sure that it's clear. See, we're still in lane. There's nothing wrong with this. Again, still in lane, in the correct lane. This is correct. It's worth going over this video again just to make sure that you are aware of that. But there you go, that double roundabout. There you are. The candidate there stayed in lane throughout, and that is good. That is, a lot of the time people are always swerving all over the road there, wondering which way to go. So we're coming back in towards Oswestry again. So the test is virtually over. Well, it will be in a few minutes anyway. So we're back into a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit now. So again, making sure that you don't go above the 40 speed limit. When you take your driving test, and should you pass it, I mean, it's got great benefits. It opens up all sorts of opportunities employment-wise. Oh, incidentally, if you are thinking, we're going into a 30 now. Incidentally, if you are thinking about buying a car, it'd always be a good idea to get it checked. What I recommend is Car Vertical. I'll leave the link in the description, but it's well worth, if you would, just to get the car checked. It's not a waste of money by any stretch of the imagination, because it'll give you plenty of feedback of what's happened to the car, because in today's day and age, there's always people that are out there which are always too eager to make a quick buck, and it could be at your expense. So the link is in the description. Have a look at it, and it's well worth doing. And we're going to pull up and stop on the left hand side again. So again, mirrors and your signal, that's the thing to remember. Pull up and stop somewhere that's safe, convenient, and you can see the candidate has not blocked any of the driveways. The park there absolutely nicely. Again, what will happen is the examiner will just say, whenever you're ready, move off whenever you can. Well, whenever it's safe to do so. So again, mirrors, looking over your right shoulder before you move away, and then away you go. Yeah, nice control. No jerking, jolting, rolling back or any of that nonsense or stalling. Just a nice, smooth transition. Again, anticipating what's happening with the bus. The bus is pulling away. Again, did you notice that, how the candidate was able to come to a really slow the car right down to virtually nothing and slow down, and they were in first gear. They were ready to go at any one moment in time. They were ready there, and just as they stopped, the bus indicated to pull away, They pull away, and then the candidate pulled away. As you can see, that there, they've asked the candidate there to demonstrate how, to show them how they would wash and clean the front screen. So that was one of the questions that was on the test, on this particular test anyway. So could you show me how you would clean the front screen? So that's just pull that wiper arm to you, and that's the question to that. As you can see, there's lots of these situations when you're in Oswestry, where you've got this meet situation where there's something coming the other way. It's been able to deal with it. And so far the candidate's, spot on with this, not put a foot wrong here. Again, we're going to be pulling up and stopping. And then the next thing the examiner says, thank you, move off when safe to do so. And then off you go when safe to do. Always remembering the importance of mirrors and looking over that right shoulder. Make sure you're clear. If you're clear, then off you go again. You can see that's a nice smooth pull away, that is. This is interesting. We're turning left here. Notice how there's cars parked either side. Notice how there's cars coming the other way. Before you make your left turn, make sure you're checking left. And the candidate has. They've dealt with it. And that's a good example of good driving. And it's things like that you need to focus on. Stopping again. This might be the reverse park, actually, thinking about it. So as all the examiner will say is, this is the car I'd like you to reverse park behind. Would you like to pull up and stop alongside it, and then reverse back until you're parked at the back of it, keeping reasonably close to the curb. Try to complete the manoeuvre within 2 car lengths. Let's have a look and see how they get on. So again, mirrors, looking over your right shoulder before you pull away, stop alongside the vehicle, straight to reverse gear. Now the important thing is there, when you go straight to reverse gear, is that the reversing lights come on. So the vehicle at the back of you, anyone that comes at the back, knows exactly what you're doing. So there we are, we're going back. Now the important thing to remember is as I keep harping on about observational skills, are you checking around you? Are you looking where you're going, or are you just looking in that one left-hand door mirror and going backwards? Look all the way around. Check all the way around. There's people that turns up that weren't there 1 second ago, and then the next second they're there. You'd wonder how it works, but it does happen, I can assure you. So you do need to pay attention to what's happening around you. Just made a slight adjustment there on the reverse park, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you need to make an adjustment on the reverse park, it doesn't matter. One of the important things to remember is that, are you under control? Are you reasonably accurate? And are you paying attention to what's happening around you? Are you paying attention? Are you looking of what's happening? Don't just look in the door mirror and hope that you go in. So there we are, the car's parked up, and we're going to move off again. So mirror checks, look over your right shoulder, and then move away when safe to do so. Again, look at that, good control, nice one. Mirrors again as you come back onto your side of the road. Okay, again with the turn left, either the examiner or the sat-nav would say turn left. So mirrors and signal. Anticipate what might be coming at you already. You can never tell. Mirrors again before you overtake. Come back again. Lovely. Mirrors again before you come back out. Again, nice one. You've got gaps in the side, so if anything was there, you could go into it. Okay, so we're coming up to the end of the driving test now. So what we'll be doing is we'll be going straight ahead at the end of this road. Now, notice how the candidate is rolling forwards nice and slowly. They're pushing the car very slowly forwards. They're pushing it. They're having a look. They're looking both ways and looking for opportunities in which to go, because there's lots happening there. See how it's just creeping forwards very, very, very slowly. Having a look, keep looking both ways, having a look, ready to go at any one moment in time. There's the opportunity, and away you go. Lovely control. And then back we go towards the driving test centre now. Hope you've enjoyed the video anyway, and it gives you some indication of what does happen on a driving test, and you'll be able to see what goes on. Have a look at the links in the description about having a car checked, car vertical. If you're buying a used car, it's important in today's day and age to go and have it looked. If you want to practice, say for example in a friend or your parents' car, you can have insurance just for an hour or 2 hours or a day, wherever you want. That link is in the description as well, called Go Shorty, and they can insure a car just for an hour if you wanted to. So we're going along now, we're making our way towards the driving test centre. So we've only got just another turn to make, I think. We're just going past this garage in a moment. Yeah, there we are. We're turning right now. So mirrors, your signal, a door mirror check before you make your right turn. On your side of the road, look at that. You know, that's nicely positioned, that is there. And then we're coming back towards the driving test centre. So as we just go around this corner now to your left, we'll be turning right in towards the driving test centre. So again, mirrors, the signal, pay attention to that right hand door mirror, and then in you go. Beware of all these heavy vehicles are here. And then we're back to the test centre. Anyway, thank you very much for having a look at it. I hope you got some benefit from this video, and if you just have a look at the links in the description, and that might help you at some point in the future. But thanks very much for watching.